Yo, yo. Let me step away just a moment. I got it set up to check the grill.
Is that you?
Ooh, we sitting at 250, baby. Right at about 240.
Like, what's that?
Yeah. 240. 240. All right. Hello, everyone out there. This is the podcast table, and I am Jeff, Tech P, Mook. Many of you know me by many different names, but I'm whoever you know. And these are these guys. And so I typically was watching some of my own content, and I was figuring out I talked too much in the beginning, so I'm gonna pass it really quick to whoever picks it up, and they can do their own introduction.
Let's hear it, Jerome.
My name is Jerome. I'm very disappointed in the Cowboys, but I think we'll bounce back. I love football. I used to play basketball for a long time. And my name is Jerome.
Yeah, so let's make sure to talk about your basketball career before we get off today. But yeah, go ahead. Thanks for joining, Jerome.
Am I going ahead? Okay. It's Cameron, Cam, whatever. I'm just here. Y'all know my resume. Y'all know what I'm about. I only speak the truth, and it hurts. I'm sorry.
Oh man. Who is y'all? Who is y'all? When you say y'all, who exactly?
They know who they are. They know who they are. They know who I am. Hey, the feeling is mutual.
Oh man, I love that kind of energy. I have a day too. So I guess maybe it's a genetic thing where it's been passed down. We figure out who they is and we speak directly to them, and they can figure out who they are and if the shoe fits. I like that. So this is the podcast table, and on this, the purpose of this show is to welcome anyone in that wants to participate in having a very lighthearted discussion about mostly sports right now, but there's going to be other topics and other people that join for different reasons. And so this is a space that's also hosted inside of the community of Ontegration. If you're not familiar with that, you should check it out. It's all about delivering change and all about serving humanity. So check it out. I put a little something there at the bottom to remind you. But let's jump in. What's topic number one? I think Jerome was beginning to share with us some sentiment about the last Cowboy game.
Yep. I didn't even watch it. I thought it was going to be a good game, but I was outside playing some football. And then everyone outside just didn't even watch it. And, well, they got mollywopped. That's, I think, how my dad described the Mavericks game the other night.
Well, I did happen to watch it. The score to me doesn't reflect what actually happened. I mean, yeah, we got the ball ran down us again at a certain point, but down 7-0 stops. You can't rough the kicker. You can't keep giving them second chances. And that was the story of the first half. We keep giving them second chances on drives. We're getting stops. And then after a while, your defense gets too tired. They just start running down all over you. Like, the game plan is to make Josh Allen throw the ball. If he only got to throw 15 times, we probably lost. Because if they losing, he throwing 30 plus. And that means 2 turnovers. So got to clean up the penalties. That's the one big thing about the Cowboys. Penalties, giving the other team second chances on these drives. If we could do that. And then today, I know we like to run man, but we can't run man today.
Yep, we got to run some zone.
Because Tyreek Hill is back. active.
Yeah. We gotta run some 4 quarters.
And I don't know if you guys heard, but I heard some pretty special wide receiver who goes by the name of Playmaker, who put him in his top 5 receivers of all time. And I think I might just have Tyreek there as well.
Tyreek
Wow.
5.
Top 5 of all times. You
Let's see,
know,
Michael.
Top 5.
Number 5 for me, Michael Irvin.
Okay.
Number 4, Larry Fitz. Number 3, what's his name? The San Francisco guy who came after Jerry Rice.
Terrell Owens.
Yeah, Terrell Owens. Number 2, probably gonna have to give it to Drew Pearson, and then number 1, pretty obvious answer, Jerry Rice. I don't think Tyreek Hill really.
Wow.
He's not old enough.
Did you? But so we left. So where's Randy Moss?
Randy Moss, I think he did good. He was tall, but did he really ever accomplish anything?
Oof. I think you need to. It's kind of hard when you're not there for it, which is I don't have that many people that I didn't watch in my top 5 as well, but Randy Moss is one of those that even if you take his comments about I don't play hard every down and this, that, and the other, the talent is above every wide receiver. And that's including Megatron. That's including
I'm replacing Terrell Owens with
I don't know if that's the one you replaced though.
With who?
I'm replacing Terrell Owens with Calvin Johnson.
Okay, I'll go with my 5 real quick, and then we'll let my dad talk about the Cowboys game, and maybe he has a 5 as well. My 5 goes as no order. I got Tyreek Hill, Antonio Brown, Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Michael Irvin, honorable mention. Just career kind of cut a little bit too short because of injury, but
he's in the Hall of Fame.
I think those are my 5 right there.
Oh, do I have a 5? I gotta go with Playmaker in my number 5. Playmaker exudes for me a time in my life, and I understand, Cameron, you were not there for that time, but
this Playmaker.
Honorable mention. He's 6. He's right there.
The Playmaker that's Michael Irvin, the Playmaker.
Oh. Yeah.
And he did it on the field, but he also just kind of helped shape my mentality in the way that I think and I see things. So I got to go with Playmaker. What he did at the college level as well at the youth. I got to go Randy Moss, Jerry Rice. I'm sure we're leaving some off that we haven't thought about because there's quite a bit of overlap.
Yeah, you got Marvin Harrison Jr. You got,
Steve Smith Sr.
He wouldn't make a top 5. And that's no disrespect, Steve Smith, but he's a great wide receiver.
Top 5. I mean, let's go through. I have 2 more spots.
You got Megatron, you got Julio, you got AB, you got who else? Trying to think of like 2000s besides Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. You know what? We need to study up on this one. This is a deeper topic because
I don't think
You said what?
My 5's not changing.
Man, there's some guys out there, man. There's some guys I don't. There's a bunch of names that keep popping up, but I want to make sure that I give it some thought first.
I think make sure. Go ahead. I think if Des Bryant had a longer career, I think he would have been up there. But
now we got not any on. We got to bring only the 5.
Yeah, the cream.
Yeah, we got to bring only the 5.
What I'm saying is we got a top 5 receiver playing today against us. We cannot run man. We cannot let him get closer to that 2,000-yard mark against us, which I still believe he can do. And if he does do that, we need to revisit Patrick Mahomes, because I've been telling you guys this. He became into the greatest situation ever. He's more talented than maybe a Donovan McNabb or something that Andy Reid's ever had. But
Are you taking a shot at Pat Mahomes?
There's no shot. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. Because
So you're
what's
saying
being put on the field right now is not top 5 quarterback. It's not top 5 quarterback in the league.
But is it his fault though?
No, we don't care when it's not other people's fault though. They said Lamar Jackson wasn't doing things. They didn't give him nothing, but well, Lamar, you should be doing this and doing that. Oh, Dak, his receivers was leading in drops last year, and they was tipping the ball up and getting interceptions. Oh, Dak's throwing interceptions. But now this dude, we gonna make an excuse for him now?
Well,
because he could have got his wide receiver paid, but
hey, this is what I'll say. He's got 2 Super Bowls.
Yep. After DeMar Hamlin heart attack, thankfully he's healthy. But two teams can't go and get the number 1 seed. Then you get to face Jacksonville. You get a 5th down against the Bengals. and then you play the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and that's no disrespect to the Eagles. I'm just being very honest with you. Are we sure the Eagles should have been there because they got to play the Giants? Well, first off, they got a number 1 seed after Dallas quarterback get hurt. 49ers is dealing with quarterback issues all season. You play the Giants and then you play the Niners, and their quarterback is injured.
The Niners are good, but
I'm talking about last year. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes Super Bowls and all that stuff. And that's an extreme. And then we're gonna see this year because he hasn't played a playoff game that was not in Arrowhead. So we're gonna see, and we're gonna revisit the conversation because I've been saying this for the longest. It's a little bit overhyped to me.
This is what I care about right here. Last week, I hadn't even said much about it yet. It was. I think I was watching. What's that? Dateline. I was watching Dateline by the middle of the 3rd quarter, and I don't watch. I don't ever turn off the Cowboy game. But last week, it wasn't worth for me to stay dialed in on that. And so I've given it some thought. I know that we are. This is what I'll say. Whenever we don't get ahead, we're gonna be in trouble. We're gonna always have to play from ahead because if the other team is running and they're dedicated to the run and we're behind, we're not gonna be able to stop the run. We're just not gonna be able to stop the run. We're a pass rush, make them throw it. If we're ahead, that works out. But if we're not ahead, people just they take advantage of that aggressive pass rush, and it was hard to watch last week. It was hard to watch. It was hard to watch.
I agree. I would agree with that on two fronts. I would probably adjust that for me to we can't be 2 scores down, 2 touchdowns. We can't be more than 14 down because then they just gonna run it. But yeah. I feel like once we were down 7-0, we still had chances, but we kept giving them chances to stay on the field and extend their drives. And we're
no question.
Out. And the second thing about that, we can't have Michael Parsons doing the same thing every single play. We just can't. You got to move it around. You got to switch it up because now teams are just running at him, and you can't. He don't have unlimited stamina. So you gotta, Dan Quinn. This is a challenge for you. Everybody's saying you need a head coaching job. This is a challenge for you. Dial up a game plan today to, I'm not expecting you to shut them out, but give the offense a chance. Give the offense a chance to keep a mixed attack because if all we can do is throw, it's not going to be a great game for us. That's
Well, if we're forced to throw because we're
yeah,
playing
that's what
from
I'm saying.
behind.
If it's
Yeah.
throw
Yeah.
or nothing, then it's not going to be great for us.
Yeah. So that's the thing that I'm looking at, and I'm also looking at a team like San Francisco and what their strengths are. You know, I don't really care for San Francisco. Everybody knows that. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm an American. But what do they have? They have a scheme that allows for a lot of different looks out of the backfield. They use Christian McCaffrey as a receiver. I mean, I think he caught about a 40-yard touchdown, fell down and got up and passed and got up and ran it in last week.
He caught a 7-yard pass and got up and made it 40.
Yeah. I'm just saying. And so those are the things that I don't believe we defend well. And so if we were to go with what we have right now and what I've seen against the 49ers, I think the response is about the same. The outcome is about the same. So we need to start developing. I need to see something different. And I think you guys alluded to it when you talked about zone. We talked about zone coverage. And so we're gonna see. Let's jump into some college football.
Let's talk about this is kind of related to college football. Let's talk about the draft. And is Crybaby Williams going to go first overall?
Crybaby.
Or is his draft stock going to go down?
Crybaby Williams. Are you talking about Caleb Williams?
Yes.
Crybaby Williams.
Troll, man.
Oh man. What a shot.
Yeah,
what a shot. Oh man. Crybaby is
I think it all depends on who's willing to I think somebody has to trade up. I think the first question is, does Chicago take him? Because they're going to have the Panthers' #1 pick. Me personally, if I'm Chicago, I don't take him. And it's not because Nixon calls him a crybaby, or Jerome, excuse me. But it's more so because I can't keep bringing a quarterback into terrible situations and just expecting talent alone to transcend that situation. So what I would do is find the highest bidder again, find another Carolina. You know, the Falcons are out there. The Raiders are out there. They're willing to trade. Find them, flip that into multiple picks, and then get Marvin Harrison along with DJ Moore, and then get your lineman right. And, you know, go from there, because you'll have another opportunity to get a quarterback. And I'm not saying that Caleb can't be special or anything like that, but you can't keep drafting quarterbacks into bad situations. It's just not going to work. Look at what the Chiefs did for Patrick Mahomes. They brought him into a great situation. You know, the Ravens, they drafted Lamar Jackson, went and got a coach that was going to help, you know, use his assets in the way that he could use them, you know, when he doesn't have wide receivers. You have to be able to plan for that. If you hire a Frank Reich and he says, I want to get CJ Stroud, and you end up going and get Bryce Young, it's not going to work. So Chicago, don't draft Caleb Williams #1. Trade the pick.
Draft Marvin #1.
I'll tell them to trade back.
Yeah, no, I think there's people out there that need quarterbacks, and so quarterbacks are gonna go #1 almost every year. You gotta look at that, unless you have a specific need and you have a contender. You can plug it or whatever the case is, or it's a very special player. So I think Marvin is there at a later pick if they move down. And it's interesting what you said about the bringing a quarterback into a great situation. I mean, look at Brock Purdy.
Look at Brock Purdy. I mean, imagine Caleb Williams with the Vikings. You got a tight end. You got 2 receivers. You got the offensive head coach. Kirk Cousins is a decent quarterback. He can win you some regular season games. But imagine paying a rookie quarterback who's supposed to be, touted. Give him that type of opportunity. Even Atlanta, they got more than
the real opportunity. That the reason why I brought up Brock Purdy is because getting a starting quarterback at a lower cost, and San Francisco's been able to get it at a bargain cost, very, very similar to what Dallas was able to do with Dak when Dak ended up starting in the beginning of his career. And when you have a quarterback that's only taking up $300,000 to $400,000 in salary cap, then you can go out and get better at a bunch of different positions, like right now in free agency. And so that's why San Francisco is in that position. I mean, just think about it. They just added Christian McCaffrey to a team that's already loaded, and then went out and got another DN who's going to want to be paid out of Washington.
Yeah.
How do they keep stacking up? Well, it's because the quarterback makes no money.
Yeah.
And so I mean, when I look at Caleb Williams, it just depends on who's number one. I'm not a fan of number one taking quarterbacks at number one.
Why not?
For me, you just go back and look at the history of them. It's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot. You take those players that are going to be in the league. They have a longer tenure. Offensive linemen, defensive linemen, cornerbacks. You take those players that are more of a probability of having a longer career with your franchise at that position, in my opinion. There's been some hits. There's been some hits, and I mean, Michael Vick was one of a kind. He was a quarterback and a running back all in one.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was
that game we went to.
Yeah, I do remember that game we went to. Do you remember that Michael Vick didn't play in that game? You don't remember that?
I just was happy to see the Falcons because to me it didn't make no difference.
Yeah. So that game, Michael Vick had broken his ankle or something, and he actually didn't play. And Arthur Blank rolled him out in a wheelchair, if I recall correctly, to the sideline at that game. I could be mixing up some different things that I've seen, but Michael Vick didn't play in that game, if I recall. I have to look that up. In Dallas, that was probably, man. How old were you then?
Michael Vick is still in Atlanta playing in Dallas. I'm saying it's somewhere between 2004 to 2006. So anywhere from 7 to 10 years old, something like that.
Yeah. 7 to 10 years old.
I've been to some pretty legendary games though. I've been to the game where Tim Duncan laughs on the bench and gets tossed out. I've been to a Lakers Mavs game where Kobe didn't play, but it's the game where you see Kobe throwing up the number of the rings he's got because everybody's booing him. And then I've also the most recent. I would say
you wouldn't. I didn't take you to that game.
That wasn't you. No, it wasn't you.
Okay.
The most recent though was with you. I won't say legendary yet because he's been having some issues, and we'll probably get into that once we get into the NBA topic. But Zion's first back-to-back right before the pandemic hit versus the Mavericks and Lonzo Ball, and Brandon Ingram coming to town. I think the Mavs won that one in overtime. You said what now?
Back-to-back what?
His first back-to-back game in the NBA. That was a big issue around Zion when he was drafted about, can he do back-to-backs and keep up his, keep his weight down and all types of stuff. So,
Yeah. Nixon, you were about to ask something. You remember any of the games you've gone to?
I believe I went to a Panthers-Cowboys game once.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving
Cam Newton. Did the Panthers win that one?
blew us out.
Yeah, I thought so.
Blew us out,
That's
man.
when I was a Cowboys non-believer.
Yeah.
And most recently, I went to an SOC game and got robbed. But NFL, the most recent, went to the Bears game last year with Uncle Mike, and we blew him out.
Oh, surprise guest.
Surprise guest. She can't hear you. Cruz, can you?
Hi, Cameron.
He says hello. All right. Is there anything I can do to help you?
No, I was just wondering if you had
Anything to eat? You just ate. All right. I'll be in a minute. I'll be in a minute. All right. So
What do you? Before we move on, go ahead and give your draft. You were kind of in it. You were saying you don't want to draft a quarterback number one.
yeah, I wouldn't draft a quarterback number one. I think it's just about who is available, who's picking. I'm looking at interior offensive line. I'm looking at offensive line anywhere. I'd be looking in the defensive backfield. That's where I think you start at in the defensive line. Every now and again, no, those are the places that I would look. So, and I don't know who's number one. I think you said Chicago's there. I think Chicago is in a tough position because they're going to have to make a decision on Justin Fields in the next year or so.
He's coming up on extension talks.
Who, Justin?
Yeah, because I think this is his third year. I will say, if they don't get Caleb Williams, which I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not quite sure about him. I can't rave about him or anything. But if you go and secure possibly the next person's draft pick who's going to be number one, like you did with the Panthers, you got that correct. If you do that, you can go and get, if Justin Fields doesn't work out, you can go and get Shedeur Sanders next year. And I think Shedeur, with what you could possibly start building with this year, would be a great fit. So
Shedeur, number one overall?
Next year, possibly.
I think that's a lot of maybes. And I mean, even if you had the opportunity to take Shedeur number one this year in your Chicago, would you do it?
Yes.
So you
when I watched Colorado, those first few games, without the protection which Chicago doesn't have, he gave them a chance with just the skill receiver. Like when I see him, I see special, and I don't say that about many quarterbacks. The only special quarterbacks to me right now in the NFL are Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, and Aaron Rodgers when he comes back. But like Shedeur, he's something serious.
I'm not taking anything away from him. I just don't know if he can be special from his backside with no other pieces around him. I think he's in the same situation that Justin Fields is in. And so
Chicago, go draft Marvin, give Justin Fields everything that he needs, and go see if he could do it. Because I like Justin Fields too, but I think Shedeur with a Marvin Harrison, and this is no disrespect to the Colorado guys. Those are some good skilled players too, who could possibly, be drafted to the same team as him. But with a Marvin Harrison Jr. and a DJ Moore, and they be having the highest cap space all the time. Like Chicago, it's time. It's time. I'm tired of the Bears being trash. I'm not a Chicago fan, but it's time.
Hey man, listen, man, I got a very close relative that I love it when the Chicago Bears are not doing well. So I can just smile at them, just like when we were there and we watched it together.
Uncle Mike?
The game started off and the Bears fans were going crazy and The place was full of Bears fans where we were watching the game, and I didn't have any concerns because I knew things would be turning, and they did.
Oh, was it the Lions game?
No, it was the
It was the
Bears.
Chicago Bears game where
Yeah, but
not
who they
just
played?
their running back fumbled after getting close to a first down, and then Micah recovered it for a touchdown after Justin Fields jumped over him.
That sounds like either they were playing the Lions or the Raiders.
Nah, they were playing the Bears.
It was the Bears. The Bears game last year in Dallas.
Oh, the Cowboys were playing the Bears. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we're not worried about the Bears. We not worried about them.
No, I'm just saying I love it when the Bears are doing exactly what they're doing. Oh my God.
Did he just throw another pick?
He did.
Who?
He did.
Nick Mullins, man. Nick Mullins. You're not in. Don't come to Dallas, bro. You're not allowed, bro.
Who's Nick Mullins?
He, for some reason, dang, look at Justin Jefferson, man. He looks like he's on the brink. Look, Nick Mullins is starting right now for the Vikings because
Why?
I don't know. They traded for Joshua Dobbs and ended up benching him. I think this is their plan. They're trying to get a higher pick. You know, maybe try to coerce the Bears and be like, hey, our picks are rising, Let's trade a number 5 pick for the number 1 pick, and we'll give you another first round pick and blah blah blah. And we'll get Caleb. Because what Nick Mullins has put on the field for his career is atrocious. Cam Newton should be playing over him. Who's the other quarterback trying to get? I would take Phillip Rivers over this guy. This guy stinks. He stinks. That is 5 turnovers in the last 2 games.
Hey, he's performing. Management is pleased.
Yeah, management is pleased. They're very happy. But
management is pleased. You see what happens when you go and you let the coach in on the secret that you're trying to lose. You open yourself up for a lawsuit. And so they said, you know what, we'll do that. We'll orchestrate that because Dobbs is somewhere else starting now.
No. So this is what happened. Dobbs started off the offseason with Cleveland. Arizona traded for him.
Yeah.
He beat the Cowboys. He's performing well in games. Joshua Dobbs.
Wait, we lost to the Vikings this year?
No, we lost to the Cardinals. Joshua Dobbs was on the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the deadline, Kirk Cousins is hurt. They go and trade for Joshua Dobbs. He puts up 1 good game, puts up 1 bad game, and as soon as he had that bad game, benched him for Nick Mullins. I mean, goodness gracious. Give Will Grier a chance. Go trade for Trey Lance. Like, do something else. Like Nick Mullins, bro. I'm sorry. I don't mean to bash you, Nick, but you've been put in a situation that you cannot win.
He has JJ.
Huh?
He has Jordan Addison. He has a decent running back. He has
TJ Hawkinson. He has everything that he needs. He just keeps throwing the ball to the other team.
So this is why Cameron's hypothesis and what he's alluding to, Nixon, is they're losing so that they can go get Crybaby Williams, as you call him.
Or maybe Drake May, whoever.
Which I'm not necessarily opposed to, but if I was Jay
America's quarterback is coming on.
If I was Jay Jettis, you better get him. Because if you don't get him and you just wasted another one of my years when everybody is touting me to be this guy, this special wide receiver, and I can't do anything, I'm leaving.
I mean, he just got hurt, and he got hurt again.
Nah, he played today. He got
touchdown.
But
he came back in the Raiders game. He got rocked, and he got injured again. Now he's back.
Right, and he's getting rocked because they're putting whatever they can find on the scrap heap to throw him the ball.
Hey, all I'm saying is this: that game is over.
What's the score?
It was 30-24. Lions clinched the playoff spot.
Lions, congratulations to Keith Claiborne.
Congratulations. Can't wait to see him.
Greg Claiborne. Yeah, the Lions are in the playoffs. My guy, Jake, hey, listen. Lions are in the playoffs. Everybody from Detroit, congratulations. I got family there. Leslie, Congratulations, the Detroit Lions. Let's take a frame. Let's take a snapshot. They're in the playoffs. You'll get to see them in the playoffs. It's awesome. Jimmy Johnson is going into the Ring of Honor.
Today?
No, not today.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Yeah, we're in Miami.
He's going into the Ring of Honor
31st. I think it's next week.
Next week.
Wait, know what I'm gonna say about the Lions?
Who do we play next week? Who Cowboys play?
We have. Hold on.
We don't have any more division games.
It's not. It's
no.
Hold on.
It's somebody that.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It's a good game.
I think so. Next week. Next week we got the Lions. We got the Lions.
Yes.
Yeah, we got the Lions. So
wait, what I'm gonna say about the Lions. Remember the Vikings last year? They had a very good regular season and lost in the first round. It's the same thing.
Let the Lions fans cherish this moment.
And my message to the Lions fans will be different from Tech P's and Jerome's. I'm not congratulating you because you should aspire for more. You got two great rookies, first time in history, 9 scrimmage touchdowns for both of them. You got an elite wide receiver, in the top 10, top 15 somewhere. Do not lose to the LA Rams because if Matt Stafford comes back and beats you, none of this means nothing.
Who's their two
None of this means
rookies?
nothing if Matt Stafford comes back and beats you. I'm just saying.
Who's their two good rookies?
I think it's Sam Laporta and
Sam Laporta.
Gibbs. I can't remember his first name, but Gibbs. He's electric.
Hey, they just said it. They said coming up next, the Dallas Cowboys, and they didn't even mention the Miami Dolphins. They said, or if they did, I didn't hear them. They said that coming up next, the Dallas Cowboys and America's game of the week. With that said, guys, maybe we can get on later. Maybe we can do a post game if there's something to talk about.
Post game,
yeah.
I won't be available for a post game if it's a blowout. Nah, I might not be available.
Hey, listen, man. You leaving open a possibility. Let's plan on the post game. Let's plan on a celebratory moment. But right now, we need to get tuned in and fixed and positioned for America's game of the week. So, with that said, I'm Tech P. You guys sign us out.
Jerome, any parting words?
Well, I hope we can have some dolphin soup tonight, but if not, I will not be coming on this show after.
All right, now it's time for my parting words. Dak Prescott. They're ready to take you out of the MVP conversation and give it to a non-quarterback for the first time in I don't know how long.
Who?
They're ready to do that after one bad game. It's time to go out there on the road, beat another 500 team, and leave no more discussion for that. You're going to get back into the MVP race. 5 TDs, outgun the Miami Dolphins in Miami tonight.
Who are they going to give it to? CMC?
Yep.
They want to give it to CMC, Tyreek. They want to give it to TJ Watt. They want to give it to everybody but Dak. They want to give it to Brock Purdy. And he's not even top 5 MVP on his team.
Give it to
Dak Prescott. I know you heard me. It's time.
Hey, it's time. America's game of the week. Peace.
Bye.